Though, is he going to be able to get it slowed down? No, he's not going to. He just barely gets it slowed down.
A.J. Allmendinger comes through to take the lead. Myatt Snider able to gather things up and get back to second in front of Allgaier. And now they're wrecking behind him. Brett Moffitt off track. Connor Mozak. Spencer Pumpelly goes around. Bailey Curry spinning. As of now, we stay green.
It's just a product of guys barely getting off into the wet part of the track. We saw Brett Moffitt got hooked by somebody. I think he was trying to get into the dry. Super frustrating for all those guys involved.
Very similar to Riley Herbst's wreck early on. You know, that area just tightens up so much. It's hard to judge, I think, of how hard you are on the left rear get turned. A.J. Allmendinger back to the lead, y'all. Early on, wrecked before the first green flag. Wrecked a couple more times. Had issues. My goodness.
Hey, I tried to tell you guys at the beginning that he was the guy to beat. Nobody wanted to listen to Jamie.
8th caution of the day, and this is what we talked about earlier. Now you get off track, and it's so hard to gather things up because it's just so wet. And there's our pole sitter, Anthony Alfredo.
Well, and we talked about a few minutes ago, he tried to stay out on the wet tires. They then had to pit after everyone else stayed out, and it just puts you in the back. And when there's a wreck, your percentage of being involved in that goes up significantly.
Hate it for Connor Mozak because he was making his first ever start, and it'd been so impressive. And some of these guys leaving the window net up, I think they just want to push, right? I mean, to help them.
Well, they do, and here's what's happened. Early in the race, guys ran off. As you can see, Spencer, I don't think he can see where he's going right now.
Yep, evidently
trying to maybe get to the fire truck or an exit. But early in the race, when guys would run off, they had the wet tires on. They're treaded. They would get in the wet grass. They could get going. With these slick tires, when they're getting off into the grass, I just don't think guys can literally get the car moving. They just need a little bit of a push to get back on to the racing surface.
Well, and at this point, the attrition rate is so high. I mean, you just want to do anything you can to stay in because you feel like if we continue to have items like this happen on track, you can have a chance to salvage a decent finish.
Yeah, and Myatt Snider got really lucky right here. He made a mistake of getting a little too far to the inside, probably looking in his mirror trying to protect from Allmendinger, and then you see Brett Moffitt gets hooked right there. I can't tell who it was that hooked him. But once that happens, these guys are just along for the ride, Trevor.
Even the 7 car right there off of that corner almost got hooked by Lally. Lally checked up and gave some grace to Allgaier. But yeah, Myatt Snider, I didn't think there was any way he was going to make that corner. Gets back on, doesn't jump the curb, doesn't get the penalty. Landon Castle's heads up. He's aware and gives him room. You know, he could have easily gotten his left side knocked off. You got to hate that for Connor Mozak going to the back here and having a great start to his first Xfinity race, and then right now it ends up in smoke.
Saw Parker Chase in the 26 driving for Sam Hunt, who spent some time in the top 10 today, also has damage, and there he is. He's